All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Steve Tech. Today I'm working on a Grasshopper 300V. This is actually a brand new unit, just sold. And the customer wanted a powered vacuum system on it, vacuum bagger powered fan tube thing. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you how to install that. And yeah, here we go. All right, the first thing you want to do is take this belt cover off, because we're going to have to replace the jack shaft that holds that blade on with a longer one so that we can add that pulley to the top of it to, come on now, adapt that powered blower onto this machine. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is take that belt cover off. Socket, we'll get those out. Set that to the side. All right, so get that cover off. You're gonna want to take this belt loose here. Very careful doing that. To get the belt loose. It's a 9/16 socket. And there's the old spindle. Jack shaft, the new one, is just a little bit longer to accept that other pulley. I'll have to get this off of here. This one's going to be a 3/4. Gotta get the blade off. Now you can kind of see a little bit better the difference in length that we're working with here. You really hit play. I can cut stuff out too. Just, yeah. Go back on with your old pulley and your key. You're gonna have a 3/4 inch spacer, a 10 gauge washer, and then the new pulley. Keyway for the new pulley. Don't forget to install that guy, because it's just going to spin if you don't. And this dude here, the original hardware, will go back on. All right, now don't forget to put your new belt cover back on, and make sure you got clearance around the belt and everything else. Nothing's rubbing anywhere. The new belt cover's of course got a hole for the new pulley to come through. Same size, 3/8. And then in our pile of parts, we also have this cover, which will cover the other new pulley. Something like that. As soon as we get the, something like that. As soon as we get the, you know, powered part on here. Blower assembly, you've got this post sticking out the back. Well, that's going to go where the old discharge chute would mount in. And of course, you got the front hole here where it's going to get bolted to the machine. So this thing's pretty heavy. You may want to have somebody help you with it. You just slide that down in that hole. Of course, that gets done like that. You're going to put your belt onto that. It looks like we're going to have to adjust the tension just a little bit on that belt. All right, so how you want to tension the bottom belt, rotate this out, have the top belt off, loosen the 3 bolts right here on the jack shaft, and that'll allow you to slide the jack shaft. When you rotate this, it relieves the tension on the belt. And you get it about right there. Make sure you got it kind of tensioned, and then shove it in. That'll give you plenty of tension. Make sure you tighten all that stuff down good before you move on, but that's all you have to do to tighten the bottom belt down here. And of course, you're gonna run the bolt back in here. All right, so we got all the covers on. Of course, there was this back one put on, and it's got a wing nut on this side, and then the only nylon lock nut that comes with that kit is gonna be on the back side here. This belt cover here gets attached with a screw here and a screw here, and that also holds this side of this top cover on. And then you've got one more screw down here. And then I forgot to say this earlier, but the discharge area of the blower, you're gonna have 6 of these whiz nuts and bolts right here, these little screws. Get all that tightened in, and then the other guy that's helping me here, notice this sticker, use only medium lift mower blades when using this vacuum attachment. And I'm assuming they want you to do that to keep the dirt and the rocks and stuff. That's what he was asking. So here's the difference. These blades come in the kit. You see the lip on the back of it's not near as high as the factory blades. Those are your low lift blades. Make sure you get those put on there. You don't want to run the factory blades with this setup. By the way, there's one more pulley cover right back here on the bottom, and you got to put it on before you put the top pulley covers on this outside blower unit. So don't forget to do that like I did. All right, so the next step that you want to move to is to the front of the mower, and then we're going to move to the back and put the bagger system on. But you want to put this weight kit on, and this tray goes on first with the 2 bolts, and then each one of these, this whole kit's going to come in several boxes, and each box is going to have the hardware for whatever's in that box. So the weight kit, the hardware for it, was in a bag by itself, in with this tray. You want to mount that first to the 2 holes that are already pre-drilled in the top of the mower frame here. Then this weight will go on, and then this cover, and then of course those long bolts will go through everything to hold the weight down and keep it from falling off. It's pretty easy. So you go ahead and put the weight kit on first, and then we'll move back to the back and do the bagger system. So once you get the weight kit installed, that's pretty much what it'll look like. And yeah, we'll go ahead and move to the back now. All right, so I've already done the other side over there, but what you've got here is a bracket that goes right here. I'm going to take this bottom bolting nut out for the roll bar. This will go right here. There's a pre-drilled hole in the roll bar. All that mounts together and sandwiches together right there. So, like I said, we'll take the
does make it easier to remove the tire first.
Yeah. I pulled the tire off so it'd be a little easier to get to all the bolts in, easier for everybody to see what we were doing. So we tried it both ways earlier, but I think the best scenario is putting the bolts in from the outside in, just because it makes it a lot easier to get to everything. Thick. And then what we have here, looking from the side, here's the one going through the roll bar that I was telling you about, and that triangle piece. There's 3 bolts, and then of course the one at the top. And you've got one of these on each side, and those guys are going to mount into those, and then to the front side of your bagger. All right, so What we did was, I had a buddy of mine help me, or had my coworker help me, lift up the bagger system, the bagger housing, vacuum housing bag system thing. He lifted it up and we kind of lined both our sides up evenly. It ended up being the outside holes here. There's quite a few down there you can see. Yeah, so did that on both sides. Tighten those up. Then all you have to do, this one needed. There's one bag. And then we got to put the hose on and we should be done. All right, so the Powervac HT by Grasshopper is installed on the 300V. Hose is on, all the bolts are tightened up. I mentioned some quick release pins earlier. This is that arm that slides in there, a quick release pin right there. You've got one of these on each side, you pull those out, the whole bagger system will come off. And then of course the blower can all come off as well and can be run as a regular side discharge mower still. So you want to hang on to all your old stuff here. You may end up putting it back to normal. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them down there in the section, and we'll see you on the next one.